Welcome back, pals. You've landed on part 2 of my YouTube series all about remnant books. If you're a keener and you're watching ahead, as a wise colleague once told me,
gear down, big rig,
and hop on back to part 1. You can click the info card at the top of the screen. But for those of you who are doing your job and watching the videos in the proposed order, let's get into it. Remnant books give our students who use AAC a chance to collect, organize, and access their life stories. In part 1, we talked about what items to collect, including how almost everyone has a huge collection already in the form of digital photographs on their smartphones. So, okay, some of you are thinking, so what's the big deal? We've already taken all these amazing photos. Aren't we kind of done here? No, and here's why. Our students who use AAC need content. They need things to say about these photos. In other words, they need pre-programmed messages that support communication. Look, we do this all the time when we're hanging out with a friend. We grab our phone and we kind of shove it in their face and we say, oh my God, I have to show you something. Check out the cake I made last week, and it was for my son's birthday. Things were touch and go there for a minute, but I was super happy with how it turned out. What do you think? Or something to that effect. So that's all this is. When you're making a remnant page, it's just a way for our students who use AAC to organize and access their life stories. Back to that word, content creation. A content creator is anyone who makes and publishes digital content. So think of that street cred you're going to earn if you go around sharing that you're a content creator. Whoop whoop. Whenever you can, you're going to want to co-construct or build together these pre-programmed messages with your student who uses AAC. And how to co-construct a social script is literally a whole book's worth of information. So in terms of what content to put with the pictures, I took inspo from some tried and true resources on conversational scripts. Lots of you have seen this guy, Anatomy of a Conversation. It's a compilation from Linda Burkhart and Carolyn Musselwhite in the early noughts. And it goes through all the different parts of conversation from the beginning to turn transfers to how to close it out. I'm going to take you through a little bit of an evolution of the template that I use, and I've built various versions over the years, starting within a page where I gotta be honest, I still sometimes whine about because it's no longer readily available, called the Navigator page set and in Compass. And they had these built right into the photo album pages. More recently, I used the My Pictures page within TD Snap, and it will end up looking something like this. I've also built pages in Grid 3, and we're going to use my template here to break down the content all you content creators will be creating. Cool? So, peep at this completed template, and now let's break it down. Front and center is going to be your digital photo or photo of your remnant. If it's a photo, you'll be sure it's personal, interactive, clear, and candid. That was covered in part 1. So first you'll have a few messages that let your students start the convo. Something like, hey, guess what? Or, hey, do you want to hear what happened? So then you'll have at least 3 or 4 messages that answers those WH questions. This is kind of the meat of the conversation, the who, what, where. It's the objective stuff. But this isn't a news story, it's a life story. So you'll also include opinions, feelings, that subjective loosey-goosiness that makes this story personal. And so there's a spot for those opinions. And here's the part I feel most separates these pages from just any old scrapbook. This is arguably where I edge my SLPE-ness in, the partner-focused questions. They are questions right back to the communication partner to keep the conversation going. What? Of course, we need this. The communication partner isn't going to be interested in just receiving all of this content without sharing anything back. This evens out the conversation, and I would argue it gives the communication partner a chance to model some very relevant vocabulary on the symbolic language portion of their robust communication system. I'll show you that in a sec. But one more part of the conversation is ending it. You gotta have a way to get out. as easy as let's talk about something else or gotta go, see ya. Last, you're going to want to include some of those operational buttons like speak, delete word, and clear, and some navigational links like back to your index of stories on the keyboard, or back to your vocabulary's homepage, or maybe a way to scroll through your photos using those previous and next photo buttons at the bottom. And voila! Here's the template all filled in with a real-life event that was front page news in our little fam last week when the girl scored her first ever goal in indoor soccer. And again, this page was built in an AAC software called the Grid 3, but I always try to take it back to the free chat editor software. You know I love Chat Editor because it allows us to support both users of TouchChat with WordPower and LAMP Words for Life. So just for fun, let's peek at this same template in Chat Editor so I can share this pretty special moment. This won't be weird at all. I'll just have a conversation with myself. Part of me is using the AAC and the other part is mouth talking. Super duper normal stuff. So huddle up.
Hey, guess what?
What's up?
Well, it finally happened.
Oh yeah, what's that?
On Saturday, I scored my first goal.
Look at that! I think I can tell how you were feeling.
I felt proud and excited. I can't wait for the next one.
I bet. What sport is that you play?
I play soccer.
Looks like it.
What sports do you play?
Well, I run a bit and I'm in the middle of a 30-day yoga challenge. Wait, is that a sport? Anyway, what else happened?
We won and I got MVP. Awesome.
Awesome. Was anyone there to see it?
I'm happy my mom and dad were there. My team's name is the Huskies. Tell me about your favorite team.
I can show you. I'm going to go to groups, sports, next page. I'm an Edmonton Oilers fan.
The Edmonton Oilers.
It's hockey.
Hockey.
And gee, look at that. I also love the Woodvale Huskies.
Woodvale Huskies.
Ooh, ask me this question.
What's something that made you feel proud? What's something that made you feel proud?
Well, I ran a 10-kilometer race this year, and it was pretty dope.
Anyway, gotta go.
Makes sense. Bye, pal. If you'd like to import these pages into Chat Editor for your TouchChat or LAMP configurations, the files are in the description of this video. Just download them onto your desktop computer. Finally, I can't talk about Remnants without sharing this little beauty. This is me, and the date is, I'm not sure, but we're just cracking the 1980s. So I love imagining my mom having the composure and forethought to run inside, lock me outside, and grab her big old camera to snap this. It's a picture in our family that's famous for being famous, and it always cracks me up. Love you, Mom. Part 3 is up next, where we talk about how to use Remnant pages for comprehensive literacy instruction, especially for independent writing. And if you're still here, smash those like and subscribe buttons. Bye for now.
Photograph on the dashboard, taken years ago. Turned around backwards so the windshield shows. Every street light reveals a picture in reverse. Still